Hi, welcome to ThinkTech. We are raising public awareness about technology, energy, diversity, and globalism. This show is Center Stage. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, proud managing director of Kumukuhua Theater, and we are coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, very near Kumukuhua Theater. Today, I'm really excited to welcome to the show a couple of people from KTUH. KTUH is the radio station at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and it's a really cool radio station I want you to know about, and I also want you to know that they're going through some kind of explosive, really wonderful changes over there. They're doubling the size of their blower. We're going to talk about that in more technical terms in just a moment. So I would like to introduce you to Ellen Meiser and Nick I said it perfectly a minute ago. Ciuffetelli. It doesn't sound like how it reads.
Right.
How
it's a tough
looks,
one.
you know,
It's close enough.
I'm one of those visual people. So what is your title at the radio station?
I'm the general manager.
You're the general manager, and Ellen?
And I manage the office.
And you manage the office. Okay, well, thank you both for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks
Very
for
excited.
having
This
me.
is our first media outlet of many for this switch.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's cool.
I'm popping your media outlet cherry. That is so
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Can you tell us one of you more technically what the changes that KTUH is going through?
You want to do an overview?
Okay, so we are expanding our wattage from 3,000 watts to 7,000 watts. And we're also changing the placement of our antenna. So right now our antenna is on top of Saunders Hall over at UH Manoa. We're moving that over to Tantalus, and we're partnering up with HPR, who they already have a structure built. So we're putting our antenna up on that structure. So that extra height and then the extra wattage means that we get to broadcast to a larger audience within Hawaii or Oahu. At one frequency, which will be a different frequency within what we have.
Okay, because you've had how many different frequencies around the island to reach?
We have
everybody?
we had three. We just gave one away to HPR. So we were broadcasting at 90.3, which we are currently on air at 90.3. On the North Shore, we're on 91.1. We were broadcasting on the windward side at 89.9. And then we also stream live, and we're also on Oceanic Time Warner digital cable. But right now, or after the change, it's going to be 90.1 throughout the island. We will keep 91.1 just in case the North Shore people aren't getting us that clearly.
Oh, because funny things happen on the
Yeah.
North Shore.
Weather issues, the range is up there, and then also for people who are fishing North Shore, so they can still catch us.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So it's just like, yeah. It's kind of odd, but every now and then you get calls about that kind of stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. So you're, and when does the change officially take effect? I should ask.
So it's been a long time coming. I won't give you the whole story. We're finally down to about a 3-week time frame, the end of the last week of December and up through probably the second week of January. So it really just depends on when the products arrive. We order a lot of equipment from various states and manufacturers on the mainland. So we're waiting for it to all hit a Dillingham warehouse. As soon as it gets here, then it's just like based on the weather, as long as we have 3 clear days, we should be able to get it up there. So anytime between the last week of December and the second week of January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice little New Year's or Christmas present.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And so tell me about the partnership with HPR. That's very cool. How did that come about?
So I'll give you the quick rundown on that one. In 2006, when HPR was getting ready to build their tower on Tantalus, KTUH was intending to partner up with them. We couldn't get everything in line that we needed to get in line when they built that tower in 2007. So this has been like a long time coming. We kind of dropped it for a little while, and now we readdressed it. Just back in 2012, we got the whole process started again. So we got an MOA between us and HPR, and a lot of other handshake agreements. They've helped us through the process as well, and we've helped them. But yeah, it's cool to be able to work with them. HPR actually did their first broadcast at a KTUH studios back in the 70s. So it's,
really?
Yeah, it's really kind of a cool thing to go back.
KTUH was there before HPR.
Yeah, KTUH was the first non-commercial FM licensed station in the state of Hawaii. Yeah, so first public radio station in Hawaii.
And it was started, was it run by the university, by university students always?
Originally in the 50s, it was run by 2 professors from the engineering department. It it disappeared after 2 years. 10 years later, 2 students from the engineering department in 1967, Fred Barberia and another, found all the equipment and started up. And it's always been 100% student run since then.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so almost 50 years now.
And you really know your stuff. You didn't
Yeah.
even pause over those names. That's
I've had
excellent.
to learn a lot of it and stuff like that, yeah.
I guess so. About that partnership again, just I want to make sure I ask questions people might have in their minds about that. How do you each benefit from that relation? You're clearly benefiting because, you know, you're riding in with some of their technology. Is this altruistic for them, or are they benefiting as well?
They're also benefiting. I won't go too into detail on, like, you know, what the MOA says or whatever. Basically, we help out with rent on the leased land, and we help out with maintenance and that kind of thing in exchange for our antenna to be there. We've also given up, or we still own our 89.9 frequency and our translator up on Wili Wili Nui, but we've allowed HPR to broadcast their signal there because we no longer need it at 90.1. So it's like a bunch of little things we've given to them, they've given to us to kind of make this, this happen and allow HPR to get what they need in terms of coverage on the east side, and us to get our place on the tower up there on Tantalus.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And do you promote each other?
No. We help each other out.
We definitely
off
help
air
each other. Yeah.
a lot.
If they have a pledge drive, like one of our old KTUH DJs, Nicky, DJ Mr. Nick, he has a show over on HPR now, and so whenever he has a pledge drive, he always asks us, like, come over. And we run over there and help answer phones and whatnot. So
Nice.
I think it's a pretty cooperative relationship.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we try and help.
Kumu goes over and helps them too, and I was actually on the air with Nick.
Oh yeah?
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And how nice, this was the first time I met him. I've been on the island for 4 years and I listened to him. This was the first time I got to meet him, and it's so nice to meet any radio personality that, like, you really like their music.
To see their
and,
face.
You know, to meet them face to face and to realize that's exactly the type of guy I thought you would be.
Yeah, such a
playing that
personality, right?
music.
Such a personality.
Nick is
Yeah,
definitely
it's
Nick.
nice. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's cool. I'm glad that you have that partnership. I did not realize that that was going on. Nice to know what's happening. So let's talk a little bit. Is anything else going to change about the radio station moving forward as a result of having the bigger blower?
Well, yeah, I mean, anything and everything is going to change. Before, when we were at the 3 frequencies, 90.3, 91.1, and 89.9, there were still various pockets along the island, and weather conditions, all these kind of things happened that made it so we couldn't even reach a large percentage of listeners that we thought we could when we initially had those 3 frequencies. So this is going to fill in all those pockets and basically allow our listenership. I'd probably say it's going to go up at least 25%. Our reach is now going to be 850,000 of the 1 million residents on Oahu. But aside from that, we're looking to kind of step up all of our game in terms of underwriting, which is non-commercial radio's form of advertising, community outreach, all these kinds of areas we're looking to. Now that we're able to reach everyone and kind of use this as a stepping off point, we're really trying to grow with the community.
Oh.
Yeah.
And okay, so you're funded through underwriters.
We're funded through a student fee established in 1985. So it's about $1.30 to 40 cents per student per semester. So that's how we're funded to keep the lights on, basically.
Okay.
The rest of the stuff, when we need to replace equipment or anything else that goes with putting on a 24/7 radio station, we go to underwriting and radiothon donations, which is like our form of pledge drive. Yeah.
Okay, how often do you do that?
We try to do it about once a year. Yeah. Not as much as HPR.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm always running into theirs, so that I don't hear that so much.
It's a huge production. They got salaries to deal with too. We're all volunteers.
Yeah, and they're like paying for, Radio Lab.
Right.
and-
They're paying
Yeah.
for programming,
Yeah.
exactly. Ours is always, a live DJ in the studio.
Are your DJs paid
No.
for their time?
No, we're not.
They're all volunteers?
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering how all of that works. Is anybody else within the radio station paid?
The directors, which there's about, I think, 16 of us that we receive a stipend on a monthly basis, but nothing near the hours that we put in, so it's always volunteer work.
It's still a
over
labor
here.
of love
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you're doing.
Exactly.
And are both of you finished with school? Are you?
No, we are students.
You're both still students there.
Yeah. I'm 23, graduating with my bachelor's in May, and Ellen's working on her PhD.
Yeah.
Oh, in what?
Sociology.
In sociology?
Yeah.
What?
Criminology. That's what I got my eye on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what's your degree in?
Political science.
In political science?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So all the directors, the ones I just told you about, the 17 or 16 plus a few others, they have to be students. So as soon as if I were to graduate tomorrow, I would no longer be a general manager. If Ellen were to drop out, she would no longer be office manager. That goes for all the directorships. That's always been the way it is, and something we pride ourselves on because, you know, we're all taking full-time classes too.
Right. How many hours are you putting into the station every week?
God, it varies. 40.
A week?
Close to it.
Really?
Close to it.
Yeah.
Right now, with all this happening, this is all new to me.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience, and I'm, you know, eating it up. I'm really enjoying it and trying to take everything I can learn from it, from everyone, James, you know, being on here, all this kind of stuff. I think a lot of the other directors are doing the same thing as well. On average, I'd say it's about 20 when everything is going smooth, but you know, we're always trying to push forward, so it always seems like there's more work to do.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, so you don't really need a life other than classes and the radio station, do you?
No, we all, it's a lot of fun.
You can have a life when you get out of school.
Right, yeah. I want to take advantage of it while I can.
How much time are you putting in?
I put in about a little over 20, I'd say, because I do have a set number of hours that I'm supposed to work, which is 20, but I'll spin at events or I'll sub a show here and there, and so I put in extra time, but that's all kind of fun. No paperwork, just music type hours, yeah.
Just the fun stuff.
Yeah, it's the fun stuff.
We're going to go to our first break, and when we come back, I'd like to talk with both of you. You know, neither of you have majors in broadcasting, so I'd really like to talk with you about how that all came about. And I'm a liberal arts person. I know that it benefits your life in so many different ways when you're involved in the arts and media. So I'd like to get into that discussion a little bit when we come back. Okay, there was your tease. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back on Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii digital series. Stay put.
Okay, this is ThinkTech Hawaii, and it's Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Energy Wednesday here in Hawaii, the state of clean energy. 4 to 5 p.m. every Wednesday. Come and listen to us. And just to show you what I mean, I'm going to ask Sharon to tell us more.
Come and see us every Wednesday, as Jay said. And we have people like Jim Albers from HECO here and co-host Ray Starling here every Wednesday. We not only go on Olelo and OC16, but also stream live. So please come visit us, hear about the latest in clean energy.
Okay, Jim, you've been here. You got any comment on all this?
As important as energy is in all of our lives today, this is a great forum and a great format to vet those issues. So I encourage everybody to listen in and participate.
Okay, Ray, what do you think for a close?
Well, I think this is the greatest show in the energy world here in Hawaii. You can come here every week, 1 hour, and catch the latest on what's happening and hear from the people who really know what's going on, like Jim Alberts. We appreciate your coming today.
Thank you.
Ray Starling, Sharon Moriwaki, Jim Alberts, and Jay Fidel here in Hawaii, the state of clean energy.
Aloha.
4 to 5 p.m. Wednesday. Aloha.
International. Oh, and we're live. Hi. We're just having a behind-the-scenes conversation. We're back on Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii digital series. I'm Donna Blanchard, your host and proud managing director of Kumu Theater. If you would ever like to come into the studio at ThinkTech and join us for one of our shows, you can do that. Just email Jay, that's J-A-Y, at thinktechhawaii.com, and he will hook you up. We're coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza, and I'm talking with a couple of people from KTUH, the radio station at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm talking with Nick Ciuffetelli.
Yeah.
Man, and Ellen Meiser, which is a name I can say.
Yeah.
So, Ellen, let's start with you if we
Yes.
could. Are you born and raised here?
No, I'm from Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Very, very not from here.
Very not from here.
Yes.
And but it's separated enough from...
Yeah, you have island fever, we have cabin fever, so there's similar things that happen, yeah.
Did you come here specifically for the university?
Yes, I came here in 2012 to do my master's, so, and then I've just kind of stayed. I got into a PhD program and been going ever since.
What was it that drew, is the program, were you studying criminology or sociology?
I was studying Asian studies, and UH, you know,
Yeah.
just geographically we're so close, and there's some really great professors here. So yeah, I came here for Asian studies, and now I'm in sociology.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did the radio habit happen?
Well, I have always, not have always, but for the past probably 5 years, have been DJing. Some of it just in my bedroom, some of it outside for other people to hear. And then so when I moved to Hawaii and I started at UH, there was, I think it was Nick. I think it was DJ Mr. Nick. And he was promoting something, or he was handing out flyers, and I thought, oh, okay, they have a radio station here, why not become a part of it? And so at first I was just a DJ, and then about 6 months into being with KTUH, I took on a managerial position. I was in charge of the jazz genre, and then I've always kind of been a part of the station.
You stayed a part of it. All right, now we need to
Yes.
back up just a little bit, because you can't just say you want to be a DJ. There's got to be some sort of training that goes into that.
Yes, absolutely. There's so our training process is that after you apply, you have to fill out an application with music that you like, genres that you listen to, what you would like to be on air, and then you get interviewed if the training director thinks that you'd make a good candidate for the training program. You get called in, and then it's a 4-week. Is it 4 weeks?
4-week training class.
4-week training class. Yeah.
It's a formal classroom?
Well,
What-
in the station, it's as hands-on as you can get.
Okay.
Usually there's about 4 trainees total. So there's 3 other trainees along with you. And then after that, you're given your own training time slot, which runs from 3 a.m. until 6 a.m. This is where you pay your dues, and you're stuck in there for a minimum of 8 weeks, sometimes longer. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, well, at least you don't have to worry about that bumping into other things in your schedule. You're probably
Right.
open then.
Yeah.
You can talk to your family back in Alaska because
Yeah.
they're getting up in the
They're
morning.
getting up, yeah.
Okay, so there's something that I'm curious about. When you say these are the genres of music that I like, this is the music that I like to listen to, are you usually giving someone a show and saying, okay, we expect this to be like, if I say I like Lily Allen, do you expect my show to be like Pandora if I type in Lily Allen? You know what I mean?
No, not at all. Usually what happens is you go in with an idea. So when I went into KTUH, I said, I love hip hop. NWA is my thing. Like, I was wearing a Death Row Records t-shirt. I was all about rap and hip hop. I ended up having
Right? Not at all.
I ended up
Go on.
He's seen the shirt. But I ended up having a jazz show where I played Motown, soul music. I mean, it's semi-related, right? There's some relationship between those two genres, but usually 9 times out of 10, you're off on another trajectory musically. And that's what we want. That's what we want trainees to do, is we want them not to stick with, if you love Lily Allen, that's cool, I played her, you know? But if you like Lily Allen, like dig, right? Dig and figure out what are her influences and listen to her influences. And if she likes Billie Holiday, okay, Billie Holiday also sang with so-and-so, and so you dig in there. And that's what we look for, because it's growth in a way.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you learn as you're listening.
Yeah, absolutely, and you find really great things.
Are the DJs encouraged to talk in between the
Yes.
songs that they play and explain and?
Yeah, the training class goes pretty in-depth. It's everything from introducing our policies and procedures manual, which is pretty intense itself, 30 pages, to learning how to cue up records if you've ever played vinyl before, to establishing and creating your on-air personality. So it's 3 hours once a week for 4 weeks. That's 12 to 3 a.m. So they get 12 hours to work on learning how to cue up vinyl and what to say, what not to say, how often you're supposed to talk, to kind of reading your audience as well. We have I'm proud to say we got a pretty great training program.
Yeah.
It produces pretty good DJs, yeah.
But now,
Radio hosts.
Not all of your hosts are students, though.
No.
They're not, because I know James Charisma and
Yeah.
Nocturna.
Right. So we're allowed 14 community time slots. That's what we've all agreed upon and put into our policies and procedures. So a lot of them, those community members include alumni, and people who aren't affiliated with the university. So we have people like Kevin Scott, who's got a morning jazz show. He's been there for 30 years. Steve Stoddard, who has pretty much the only blues show in the state of Hawaii and is recognized throughout the mainland for what he does over here. Mm-hmm. And then we have also people like James Charisma, alumni. They get about a year grace period after they graduate until you have to reapply for a slot. And at that point, it's like everything comes down to, do we have any slots open for community members? Do we have, is this music that we need right now? Were you a contributing member while you were a student? All those kinds of things. So it's pretty nice to have the 14 time slots, but it's tough to get, you get a lot of people asking, can I be a DJ? Can I be a radio host? And that kind of thing.
And priority always goes to the students.
Right, always.
Yeah, we always want to, the whole purpose of KTUH is to give UH students a learning environment, to give them these new opportunities. And so really we want to allow those trainees to move out of those, 3 to 6 a.m. slots and see the light of day every once in a while.
That's nice of you. So Nick, how did you're studying political science?
Right.
And you're not born and raised here, are you?
No, I'm from Southern California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came here 3 years ago thinking I wanted to be a marine biology major, and then realized also that coming from Orange County, there's music everywhere. You can drive to LA in 45 minutes or down to San Diego or any warehouse show, that kind of thing. I couldn't find any rock and roll music over here. So I forget exactly how I did it, but I heard about KTUH, and then I applied to be a DJ at the end of my first semester, I believe. And yeah, went through training, all that kind of stuff. Switched to political science as a major, and then, I've been with you ever since for 3 years now.
Marine biology to political science.
Yeah.
There's a story right there that you just glossed over.
Right, yeah. I decided that I wasn't sure if I wanted to do
fish,
go all the way through my PhD program.
Boats.
Basically, you're scrubbing beakers if you don't have a PhD. And I wasn't going to make that commitment yet at 20 years old.
Yeah, I dated a guy one time who was a marine biologist, and he was boring. So I think you made the right decision.
Yeah.
And political science, where I'm just curious. This has nothing to do with the radio station, but how did
I like the idea of policy and enacting change that way, as opposed to just talking or giving your opinions. You can actually, policy is the way things change. So that's why I'm interested in it. I thought for a minute maybe law school, maybe down the road. Who knows? I've always been an arguer, more or less. I'm
That's
opinionated.
Imperative, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a nice outlet for that, where I could be constructive. Yeah.
Okay. And so you were looking for rock and roll music, and you found some on KTUH, but you wanted to bring more, so you got involved? I
think I ended up talking to, in passing, my academic advisor when I was signing up for classes, like, is there a club or something like that on campus, a music club, and they told me about KTUH, so I went in there, and, or I started listening to them online, I streamed online for my first time, and I heard a show called The Manifesto with Julia, the curator. It was like an all-vinyl rock and roll show that used to run 12 to 3 on Sundays. Now it runs 12 to 3 on Mondays. And it was all the bands that were from the area that I was from, but she was playing them on a radio station over here, and I was like, what the heck? This is awesome. So I think I just walked in the next day and asked for an application.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I filled it out online. I can't remember.
And were you looking for, like, rock and roll, or?
I guess my foundation of what I grew up listening to, my dad listened to a lot of Queen and Led Zeppelin, ELO, REO Speedwagon, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I branched out from that and listened to a lot of the newer bands that were around back home, the Growlers, Tomorrow's Chips, all these other kind of rock and roll bands that turned into indie, that kind of, just that was my foundation, rock and roll. I was looking for that scene over here that I hadn't found. I didn't see any shows, or I didn't know of any shows, I didn't know of any people. And being new in Hawaii from California, it was nice to find a home base where it was like, oh wow, everyone here listens to music, they love this kind of music. It was just a great launching off point for me. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So the radio station was something that you both came to socially, can we say?
Yeah.
And you both rose kind of quickly into management.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, you're both young enough that I wonder, were you the one who led your Girl Scout troop or something, or were you naturally management material before, or did the radio station really help bring you up there? Or both?
Go ahead.
I do have a little bit of management experience, but not, I was never, what's a good way to put it? I don't know. I think the radio station, the people there really encourage you.
And you were naturally bossy? Is that what you're
well,
trying to
yes, you can ask him. I love bossing people around. But no, I think that when you're, especially in KTUH, if somebody sees a trainee or a DJ who takes the initiative, that they're encouraged, they go and they encourage that DJ to go and take one of these positions. And it's hard, it can be hard for us to fill those management positions because people are cycling in and out, they're graduating, and sometimes all the other students are just so busy with their lives and with schoolwork that they don't want to take on another obligation. So it was partially that I got pushed into it, and it was partially that, yeah, I do like to have control over as many people as possible.
As many people as possible, girlfriend. Okay. And you, are you bossy by nature as well? You are, I can tell.
Some people, yeah. Some people called me, or I've always been told, I guess, I have the traits to be a leader, but I never was given the opportunity to. So this was, yeah, when I started voicing my opinion when no one else was talking in the meetings and stuff like that, and you make enough statements, stir up enough meetings, and people start to take notice. I guess that's kind of how I got asked to do this position. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, and all those traits are, when there's a decision to be made and no one else is speaking up, you're willing, you just naturally make that decision. So it's good that people recognize that and help move you into those positions. Okay, we're going to take another break, our last break already. We're going to come back in just a moment, so if you would please stay with us. We're going to be right back to talk more about KTUH and just the business of radio in general. You're watching Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii digital series. Stay put.
Hi, I'm Chris Leatham, and I'd like to invite you to come and watch my show every Wednesday at 3. I'm interested in a variety of issues that have to do with politics and our local business economy. And I'd like to bring on guests who like to talk about everything from technology to social media to what we can be doing to improve our environment. And so I'd like to invite you every Wednesday at 3 to stay and watch my show here with ThinkTech Hawaii. And I'll see you there.
Aloha! How you doing? It's me, Angus McTech, wishing you to welcome and join us to see us on Hibachi Talk on ThinkTech Hawaii. Join my co-hosts, Gordo the Tech Czar and Andrew the Security Guy, every Friday from 1300 to 1345. We look forward to seeing you. We'll talk tech and we'll have some wee bit of fun. And remember, let your wing gang free wherever you be. Aloha!
Hi, we're back and we're live. This is Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii digital series. I'm Donna Blanchard and I'm talking with Ellen Meiser and Nick Ciuffetelli. Jeez.
We're going to get it.
I thought I was going to get it.
One more time at the end.
I have a cheat sheet. I'm going to look at the next time. Okay, so, and we talked about this a little bit on break. You did, I forgot to back you up. You ended up moving into management for the jazz portion of the station.
Yes.
So how many shows is that you are
That
managing?
is, let's see here,
14,
yeah. So there's 2 jazz slots every day, and we operate 7 days a week, so.
Okay.
So 14.
So when you're managing those, were you responsible for making sure there were the hosts?
Yes, so you make sure that that slot is filled. If it's not, then either you're going to go take care of it yourself. Ideally, somebody else will sub it. So somebody who's looking for a show to jump into, or a trainee that needs a little bit more experience, they can go in and take over that show for a week or for that one time.
Okay. So you're not necessarily there for all of the shows. You're just making sure that that's covered.
Yeah,
and it's running well. Are you keeping an eye on people? Are you like having the talk saying, "Hey, you can't say that next time"?
Yes, no F words. Stop saying that. Yeah, it's part of the deal. Yeah,
even I know you can't say the F word.
Oh, we've had some good experiences with that.
I think it's.
But no, yeah, you're in charge of your personnel of those 14 DJs. Luckily, I was one of the DJs in those 14 slots, so I only had 13 to deal with. You're making sure that they're there on time, that they're not doing anything crazy in the station, that they show up to their show at the right time, that they're, you know, playing the music that fits the genre, that their shows are going on. We fill out these on-air quality forms, and we review every show. Oh. So that's part of the genre director's job, is to make sure that it's quality and that it's not, you know, some top 40 stuff.
It's consistent with what we stand for and, you know, believe over there at KTUH. But to clarify also, we award time slots yearly, so most of the time the station runs on its own, the daily activities of it, so there's only like 2 or 3 open time slots right now that would have to require a sub, or if Ellen was still jazz director, she would have to go in there and sub if we couldn't get one. The rest of them, people apply at the beginning of the year, and we go through the applications, listen to their demo, and then award the show for a year. And when we award that show, it's because we trust the person who's doing it, so it's like we don't have to call them the night before, hey, remember you got that show at night? It's way, that's not how it works.
It's running much more smoothly.
It's running much more smoothly.
It's not just a bunch of monkeys in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And people really take pride in their shows. You know, they like to be able to say, oh, I'm on air from 6 to 9 p.m., right, prime drive time. Of course they're going to show up. Of course they're going to try and play good music. And if you don't play good music, you will get calls and people will say, what the heck was that? They will call you up and call you on it.
Yeah.
So it's good. I think our listeners are sometimes our quality control. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's interactive.
Do you have any idea, you know that you're going to be reaching 800,000 of the million people on the island, but do you know how many people are actually listening?
Yeah, those numbers, Arbitron does them. They bought out Nielsen, I believe, or maybe Nielsen bought out Arbitron. I can't remember.
It's Arbitron now.
But they do surveys, I think, quarterly. They're extremely expensive, so we haven't gotten them in a long time, but there's other ways that we're able to get an idea, yeah.
Well, you can, like, I don't even have a radio in my home. I listen to the radio in the car, but I do everything, stream everything online at work and at home. Can you get those numbers?
Yes, we can. We get those numbers.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And so you're getting the numbers that you're getting about people listening online. I'm just wondering if there's a big swing if everybody's listening online or via
online
cable.
Is definitely the least. Yeah, most people listen to our FM frequency. Another way we're able to get feedback on who's listening is through social media. We can see, you know, people engaging with our social media, or through our pledge drives. That's a big one as well. How many individual donors are we getting? What's the average donation? That kind of thing. We got, I think, close to 600 individual donations last time we did a radiothon, and you got to take that into account. Those people who actually called in, took the time to give their credit card information, pay money, hard-earned money, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing pretty well in terms of listenership. I think so.
That's cool. When I did the HPR fundraiser, man, they got me. I was sitting there in a break. They came home and they go, you should be a sustaining member. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah, they totally do that.
They got me.
They got a lockdown over there.
So then what are your day-to-day tasks in running the station? You're awarding the shows on a yearly basis,
right?
And then you're just sitting back and you're chilling and you got your own show, or what are you doing?
Yeah. No, we deal with things that come up via, or whether it be DJs doing mess-ups on air, or someone has to leave the island. Those are like the daily runnings of the station, but more so management and myself and Ellen were like the liaisons between the university and the station and the community. So planning a lot of events, talking to media outlets, that kind of thing, working on various projects we have. You know, we're trying to catalog our vinyl vault right now. We just finished setting up shelving in our live room. We're trying to turn, or we're in the process of turning our Monday Night Live room into a recording studio. So our overhead costs are so much less than a regular studio in terms of electricity and rent and that kind of thing. So we're able to offer a much cheaper rate for someone to come in there and record their album, local bands and that kind of thing.
Oh,
so we're always working on projects like that to try to, you know, better the station financially, and, you know, just kind of broaden our reach.
Okay, cool. like, are you actually responsible for, if you're going to make that a studio that people could use for reporting, then advertising that, getting that word out?
Yes.
We're responsible for everything.
What
we
awesome
take care of the
experience you get.
It's
financials
unreal.
of it and
Unreal.
everything. Yeah.
I write the budget, you know, like, it's 100% student run. It's really kind of a great experience.
That is really great experience for you guys to be getting at your age.
Yeah.
And in such a learning-friendly environment.
Yeah.
Right. Such a great environment overall.
It's a very forgiving environment too, I think, because we're all students and we're all like, we get it. You know?
That's good. Yeah, it should be. I mean, you're clearly, you know, professional, driven leaders yourself. So, I mean, you could be just pulling my chain. You could be really good actors, I suppose. But, so, what do you say to people about why they should listen to KTUH? Why is it the bomb? Why should I listen?
I think there's a common misconception. So we have this tagline, Hawaii's only alternative. If you hear that, most people think of the genre alternative rock, maybe. But that tagline was established before alternative rock was even a thing. We're an alternative to the other programming in the state. So basically, you get tired of listening to, I won't name any stations, but pretty much all the iHeartMedia stations. You get tired of listening to the same 10 songs over and over again. You tune into us, you're going to hear maybe the same artist once in a while you heard on there, but a different track from their album that you haven't heard before. That's probably a lot better too, because you haven't heard it 100 times on the radio. And then from there, you keep digging and digging. But the main reason is just diversity, and nowhere else you can listen to Pandora. That's an algorithm. It's choosing, and it's still kind of top music. At the end of the day, it's not really digging too deep. You don't get a live DJ 24/7. 365 anywhere else. Very few college radio stations even do that now. So you always have someone in there picking and choosing and putting passion into their next track and their 3-hour shows. So that's why, they gotta like the music they're listening to, or they're gonna get over it, So it's usually good music.
Right, and your DJs are ever evolving also. That they're hearing new things and wanting to go in different directions, and they're turning over. Even the management of the radio station has to evolve every few years because you're going to graduate.
Yeah, definitely. And with the music as well. I mean, we have everything from Led Zeppelin 1, the original release in our vinyl vault, to every single week we get probably 100 CDs in from different record labels and distributors. So it's pretty easy to be able to dig and learn music as well if you spend the time in there. I mean, there's very rarely something that I want to listen to that I'm not able to find with either in the vinyl vault or through our 50,000 CDs. Yeah.
That's cool. That sounds like a little playland.
That's great.
Do you have anything to add to that, Ellen? Do you listen to the station when you're not in there?
I do. I do listen to it. I think diversity is the thing. Especially right now, we have I'd say 4 or 5, maybe even 6 DJs who play music that's not English speaking. It's not from the Western world, and that's really cool. You get to hear J-pop, K-pop, French music, German music, African music. Like, we have a Latino show. Like, it's really, really great. And that's something that when I first started out the station, we didn't have. And I feel like we're constantly evolving and becoming more diverse, which I love. That's what I love about it.
Now, you said you play 7 days a week, 365, but you do, what do you do when you have a hole in the schedule?
I get a phone call.
Somebody, emails get sent out.
Yeah, we send out emails. It hasn't happened in a long time. When I first started, there were some issues with it, but every now and then someone wouldn't show up or something happened, but someone always covers it. If there's a phone tree, so if someone doesn't show up, you call the next person, then you call their genre director, which would be like a jazz director if it was a jazz time slot. Then you would call the program director if they didn't answer. Then you would call the general manager if they didn't answer. And so a few times in the very beginning before I cracked the whip, I got the call at 3:15, 3:20 in the morning. The trainee didn't show up, so I got to go in there and play some long jazz songs. Yeah.
So you never just play
Never. No pre-recorded content ever.
Yeah.
There's not even equipment for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's by choice.
And most of your DJs, your hosts, will put their playlist. I see those online.
Right.
Don't some of them have a podcast also you can get James does, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he doing that on his own, or is that through the radio station?
That's on his own.
I'm not sure. I think it's probably on his own. Yeah, because we don't. I won't even go there. Yeah, there's not a way for anyone to download the music that's heard there. You can get a playlist, but you can't actually download the 3-hour time slot for your personal use. Yeah, that's against the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really
Sorry,
great
James.
that I brought it up.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
okay.
that
But
I've
no, I think
actually
that's-
We don't
seen
know his
that.
last name.
I think I heard
Right,
he had done something like that. And yeah. Okay, well, that just left me speechless. One of you say something.
No, he doesn't do that.
No,
James
he's
knows all the
great.
rules.
He wouldn't.
James been
He's a great guy.
Speaking of James, I'd like to thank him on air for
Yes.
connecting us. James is a great asset at KTUH in terms of his music and his
And he's a
professional
cool
skills.
guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy too.
Yeah.
They just had their release party for their, I think, 9th issue of Abstract. We got to do the music for that. James asked us to do that, so that was great. And the event was fun over at Mark's Garage.
was
or at
fun.
Mark's Garage. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I didn't realize, I really appreciate that he introduced us. I was at that event. I didn't realize you were over there. I would have said,
Yeah, we were
"Hi,
spinning."
I'm Lucy."
Yeah, we were in the
Could've seen you
dance floor
in
area
your
where it was all
element.
dark.
Wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
He doesn't do that, but I do that.
You actually
Yes.
do that? Oh,
She
that's
does do
cool.
that.
See, that's exciting. Why don't you do that?
If it was up to
Not
me,
your
I would call
genre.
everyone radio hosts instead of DJs. I'm not a fan of the DJ art, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but I do
That's interesting.
love.
He's a minority in that respect
I don't know
at
about
the
that.
station.
I don't know about that. There's plenty of people who only play vinyl and would rather, be a great personality on air than go out and pretend to make music with DJ equipment. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's a lot of personality in both.
There's my stance on
I gotcha.
electronic music.
I hear ya.
Sorry.
Well, there's a lot of different ways to exhibit your personality when you're a host of the show. And there's some personalities that, I grew up in the Chicago market, and there are personalities there that when I hear about Larry Lujak and, some of those DJs, I get excited just thinking about it, because that was their personality that you were buying into during that drive time. It wasn't just the type of music they were playing, because they were all playing, bubblegum top 40s. Anyway, you could get the same music anywhere on the dial pretty much. And some people are more about personality, like Po'ai.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
perfect example. Yeah, the Native Girl. She does Monday Night Live, and then she also has, I think,
Wanderlust sessions.
Yeah,
on Thursday nights.
Yeah, Thursday night, 6 to 9. She's got a great personality, and she's, Poi's a natural kind of talkative person, but yeah, she's a perfect example of someone who's really able to express herself, and people like listening to her, you know what I mean? Same with, who else, Ross Jackson, or Cedrica, T-Fuge, those kind of people. I'm sure others, listeners know who they are, but yeah.
You lost me on the T-Fuge, sorry about that. Okay, I have to wrap up, so. See, your call number is 90.
It is 90.3 right now, but it will
90.3.
turn to 90.1.
Okay, 90.1. So, and if people want to stream you online, they go to, I always just type KTUH and
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, they can go to ktuh.org, and we're going to be a lot more, or informing the public a lot more over the next couple of weeks via the website, social media, other news outlets. But yeah, if you tune in at the end of December or the first week of January and 90.3 is blank, just go down one notch to 90.1.
Just go down one notch.
And that's where we're going to be at for a long time.
With that gigantic 7,000 watt blower.
Yep.
Yes,
I really
blower.
want you to start calling it a blower.
A blower, okay.
I appreciate that. Okay, thank you very much, Ellen Meiser and Nick Ciuffetelli.
There
Yes,
you go.
thank you. Thank you for
Thanks so much,
having us.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on Center Stage. We look forward to seeing you next week. I would like to thank a few people here in the studio. Our studio overlord, Zuri Bender, who is in my ear. Sachi Slomoff, our floor manager, who's right over there. Thank you, Sachi. And Jay Fidel, who somehow manages to put this all together. Special thanks to James Charisma for hooking us up. We'll see you next week. Bye.